Tell me you love me.
My top 7 1950s romances gone bad.
Just what were you boys drinking last night?
Beer.
Number 7 is I Married a Monster from Outer Space. Love seems to be going great for a woman, except for a mild encounter with a 1950s Karen.
Marge, you're not married yet.
Unfortunately, her man is captured and replaced by an alien. On their honeymoon, she starts to notice that her new husband is acting kind of strange. To make a long story short, the marriage ends up going to the dogs. Consider this a divorce. Film number 6 is Untamed Women. A World War II plane crew is shot down and finds themselves upon a strange island, inhabited by a tribe of women. They sure look like women, but they sound like a herd of horses. There are no men in the tribe, so the guys think, this is great, this is paradise. One guy's going to take his shot to impress the women.
The man has lost his senses.
I think that guy's been at war too long. He's got no game at all. Another guy tries to make his move.
Take hold my fingers here. Now pull on it.
Why hast thou come to our island?
The men's behavior enrages the women.
Ye told me ye were men of honor.
So the men are exiled to the land of the monsters. What the heck are they? One beast wants to give the men a worse tongue lashing than the head priestess did. One guy finally remembers that they had boxes of chocolate bars on the raft. One taste of chocolate and the women were like putty in the men's hands. Paradise at last. Unfortunately, on the island next door there was a tribe of men known as the Hairy Men.
The hairy men are coming.
On Hairy Man Island, there was not only a lack of razor blades, but there was a lack of women. So they were going to haul off as many as they could carry. Just when you think things couldn't get any worse, the volcano erupts, killing everyone but one guy on the island. He's rescued, but they lock him away because they think he's a nut. Film number 5 is The Alligator People. A happy newlywed couple leaves for its honeymoon. After about 5 hours straight without being able to get a word in edgewise, the guy figures, I'm getting the hell out of here while I can. The husband gets off the train and the wife pleads for him to come back. His only reply, see you later, alligator. After an extensive search, she is able to track him down, but he runs away. The wife pursues her husband. She could track down her husband halfway across the country, yet she couldn't see something right in front of her feet. The husband, Paul, has developed a horrible skin disease. It turns out Paul's here to get treatments to cure his disease. The treatments backfire, turning Paul into a monster. No use crying crocodile tears for him, lady. He's an alligator. Paul runs off and gets stuck in quicksand. In a bit of karma, the last thing Paul hears from his wife is, see you later, alligator. The authorities dredge up Paul's body so his wife can cremate him, but she decides she'd rather have 2 new pairs of shoes and a handbag. Film number 4 is The Bride and the Beast. A newlywed couple appears to be madly in love.
Like I say, marry him, lead him out in the middle of nowhere, take the shoes away, and you've got a wife that'll do very nicely.
Hey, why didn't you tell her that before you got married? It's also the first time he tells her about his pet.
That sounds like Spanky, a gorilla I brought back.
Spanky? I hope he doesn't whip his pet. That would not make a very good impression on his new bride if he started spanking the monkey. On their honeymoon, instead of bringing her to a fancy hotel, he brings her home, which looks like a haunted house or a dungeon or something. She meets Spanky and thinks she's hotter than her husband.
Beautiful.
They retire for the night. Separate beds? On their wedding night? This guy's a real romantic. The wife dreams of but one thing, Spanky. Spanky feels the same way and sneaks up for a visit. The wife's like, shh, don't wake my husband. That lame loser. To make a long story short, his wife runs off on him. He tries to get her back, but she doesn't want to come back because she's now become queen of the gorillas. The husband fails to get her back and spends the rest of his life telling his story to anybody that'll listen, but they all think he's bananas. And now, a trailer for my worst sci-fi film ever.
My God, what is it?
It's The Creeping Terror. See, the genius analyzed details that most critics overlook. If she moves her butt like that running away from the creature, it'll never catch her in a million years. John reveals the inner thoughts of the monster's prey. Call me. Sure, babe. She's a goner. Wonder what her sister's doing Friday night. To find out, you must watch John's The Creeping Terror video. Link in this video description. Film number 3 is Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Things seem to be pretty good for a woman and her husband, but growing problems arise after an encounter with an alien. When the wife grows huge, doctors sedate her and chain her up. The wife wakes up, breaks her chains, and starts wrecking the home.
She's loose!
Talking about home wreckers and loose women reminds me of the husband's activities. The other woman tells the husband, your wife's grown apart from you. She's no longer the right fit for you anymore. The 50-foot wife tracks down the husband and he finds himself in a hairy situation. Harry! The other woman learns that if you spend too much time drinking in a bar, you can end up smashed. The wife decides to put the squeeze on Harry for everything he's got. Is film number 2. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. To make a long story short, a guy's in love with a beautiful woman. He says he loves her now and forever and wants to marry her.
I love Becky.
These two guys, confirmed bachelors, I don't know. They try to talk him out of it.
You've been in love before. It didn't last. Tomorrow, will I feel the same?
No, not a chance. The guy doesn't believe the bachelors, so they sneak off somewhere to be alone. One kiss and the guy gets cold feet. He hightails it out of there faster than Alligator guy did. There he goes, get him! Shotgun wedding time! Film number 1 is The Brain That Wouldn't Die. A guy's driving with his beautiful fiancée and he has a car crash. He's hoping she's not angry, but she does lose her head. The guy's a doctor, so he collects her head and brings it back to his house where he hooks it up where she can survive without a body. Due to lost files, the following clips have been reenacted to the best of my memory. 100% accuracy is not guaranteed. I know, sitting around the house without a job, sometimes you feel like a bust. Well, today I'm going to go out and ask some of my friends if they have a position you can have. Wake up, honey, I'm home. Let me give you the heads up on what happened today. I talked to my friend that has the restaurant. They have an opening for a head waiter, but they want someone that can lend a hand in the kitchen, and you don't have any hands. I've talked to my friend that has the private girls' school. They have a position for a head mistress, but they want someone that can work their ass off, and you've already lost your ass. But I've come up with a solution. I've signed you up for some courses where you can get your law degree. And maybe afterwards you can go to work for the mob as a mouthpiece. Calm down, calm down. Keep your head on your shoulders. Don't